Hey learners, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Wardha. This lecture is for the BCom 5th sem for the subject Indian Economy. So, under this subject we are dealing with our last unit, and today we are going to deal with the topic public revenue, which is the second topic of our last unit. In previous lectures we have done with the topic public expenditure. When we talk about the public revenue, so as we have discussed, it's one of the most important component of the public finance. While discussing the elements of public finance, we have discussed that there are four essential elements of public finance. That is public expenditure, public revenue, public debt and public administration. Today we are going to deal with the public revenue. So what is basically the public revenue? Like public expenditures are the expenditures which are made by government for the overall development of the economy. In the same way, public revenues are the revenues earned by the government. It may be central government, state government or the local government. Okay. Now, when we talk about the public revenue, so it generally refers to the government revenues. So, it consists of income generated by government from various sources. Now, we are saying that government generates income from various sources. What are those sources from which government can generate income? What are the options available with the government to earn revenue, to generate income? So it's majorly categorized into two parts, that is tax revenue and non-tax revenue. As the name is indicating, tax revenue. So when we talk about the tax revenue, so it refers that the income which the government collects by way of levying different taxes is known as tax revenue. And in India, this tax revenue is a major portion of income for the government. It's a major source which provides more and more income to the government. Okay. When we talk about the tax, so there are certain features of this tax revenue. Like when we talk about the tax, so it's a compulsory payment. Tax is not the kind of fines or the penalty for making some mistake or for violating some rules. It's a compulsory payment that is levied on person and he has to pay it. Okay. When we talk about the tax revenue tax, so it also not based on the principle of quid pro quo. Now what is this quid pro quo? Quid pro quo. It means something in return. So this, when we talk about this tax, so it is not based on the principle of this quid pro quo. Means when you are paying tax to the government, you cannot expect something in return from the government according to the amount of taxation which is being paid by you. Like if you are paying 2,50,000 taxation and there is some other person who is paying only 1,50,000 is the amount of tax, so you cannot expect that government is going to provide you more amenities or facilities than the person who is paying the lesser amount of tax. Why it is so? Because it's a compulsory payment and it's not based on the principle of quid pro quo. Means you cannot expect something in return from the government after making the payment of the tax. Okay. So tax revenue is again categorized under two main heads, that is direct tax and indirect tax. Now what is basically the direct tax? Direct tax is a tax which is levied on the income of a people or the income of an artificial person. Okay. In case of direct tax, incidence of taxation and the burden of payment is on the same person. Means the direct tax is paid by the person on whom it is levied. Like my income is 10 lakh rupee in a year and tax has been levied on me, so I will only pay the tax. So this is the area of direct tax. This is the exact meaning of the direct tax. Now when we talk about the direct tax, so it's of different types. First one is income tax. Income tax is a tax which is levied on the income of the person. Okay. And this, in agri budget, the slabs and the tax rates are given. Like tax up to the income of 2,50,000 is exempted. When the income increases from 2,50,000 up to rupees 5 lakh, so 10% tax would be levied, and in this way the different tax rates are levied on the different income slabs. Okay, so it is changed in every budget. So income tax is one of the type of direct tax. Then we have corporate tax. Corporate tax is a tax which is levied on the joint stock companies or the big corporate houses. It's also one of the important source of revenue for the government. Wealth tax. When we talk about the wealth tax, so it is levied on the net wealth of a person. Okay. Then we have capital gain tax. So capital gain means the gain which a person gets from the purchase or the sale of the asset. Okay, so when the tax is levied on such transactions, so it's known as capital gain tax. It's also a kind of direct tax because it is directly paid by the person on whom it is levied. So these are the different types of direct tax. Now we will see the indirect tax. Indirect tax is basically the tax which is paid which is levied on the goods and services. Okay, indirect tax is basically the tax which is levied on the goods and services, and it's paid by everyone. Like when we talk about the income tax, so it's only paid by those who comes under the slab of a particular income. But when we talk about the indirect tax, so generally each and every person in the economy makes the purchase of goods and services. So when we talk about this indirect tax, so it is almost paid by everyone in the form of goods and services tax. So first one over here is GST. When we talk about GST, so it was one of the hot issue when it was introduced in India. In India, it has been introduced on 1st July 2017. It has been implemented from 1st July 2017. Now, when we talk about the GST, so it has replaced many taxes. Like earlier they used to be VAT, earlier they used to be sales tax. So now, as a replacement of all these taxes, GST is levied. So GST means the goods and services tax. It's levied on the transactions of various goods and services. Next one is union excise duty. When we talk about the union excise duty, so it's levied by the central government on the production of the on the different goods and services which are produced in the country. But one thing that we need to keep in mind over here is it's levied on only those goods and services on which the taxes are not levied by the central government. If the taxes are being levied by the central government on the production of those goods and services, so the central government will not levy this union excise duty. Like if you talk about the commodities or the goods on which the union excise duty is being levied, so sugar, cotton, the vehicle spirits comes under the goods on which union excise duty is levied. The next one is customs. When we talk about the custom duty, so it's levied on the import and the exports of various goods and services. So tax revenue is basically categorized under two categories, that is direct tax and indirect tax. When we talk about the direct tax, so there are different types or the heads under the direct tax, and when we talk about the indirect tax, so there are different types under the indirect tax as well. Another source of revenue is the non-tax revenue. Even though major portion of government revenue consists from the tax revenue, but still non-tax revenue is also one of the important component of public revenue. So let's see what are the different sources under the non-tax revenue. First one is interest receipts. See, when we are talking about the lending loans to other countries, or we are talking about the loan which is being lent by the state government to central state government to central government, or the central government to the state government. So when such types of loans are lent in the country or outside the country, so on such loans some amount of interest is charged. So when you lend the loan and you get interest on it, so such interest are the sources of income for the government. So when the government is granting or lending the loan and it's receiving interest on that loan, so it is a kind of public revenue for the government. It is one of the source of public revenue for the government. The next one is surplus or the profits of RBI. See, RBI transfers its surplus or the profits to the government, and it's also one of the major component of the public revenue. Like in year 2019, there was a hot issue regarding the surplus transfer to the government. Okay, surplus transfer from RBI to the government when the amount of 1,76,051 crore has been transferred as surplus from RBI to the government. So it has become the topic of debate, but we are not going to go into that. The important thing that we need to keep in mind is the RBI transfers its surplus or profits to the government, and it's also one of the major source of public revenue. It also consists of government's income. The next one is profits of public enterprises. Now there are many public enterprises. What is basically the public enterprises? The enterprises in which more than 51% stake is owned by government are known as public enterprises. So in our country we have ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, we have BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, and then we have SEL, okay, NTPC, etc. So we have many public enterprises. So when this public enterprises earns profits, so it also transferred to the government, as the government holds a major amount of stake in such enterprises. So therefore profits of all these public enterprises is also one of the major source of public revenue. The next one is other non-tax revenue. When we talk about the other non-tax revenue, so it consists of the various sources. First one over here is fees. See, when you go to get a license, so they charge you the fees. When you want to start some shop, and wanted to get registered, so they charge for it. So all this registration fees or the license fees that you pay for getting the license or getting your shop registered is transferred to the government. So these fees are one of the source of non-tax revenue to the government. The next one is fines and penalties. सब लोगों ने एक न एक बार तो ट्रैफिक सिग्नल तोड़ा होगा, या फिर बिना लाइसेंस के गाड़ी चलाते हुए आपको ट्रैफिक पुलिस ने पकड़ा होगा. It's a thing that everyone generally do. So when we talk about the fines and penalties, so it's a kind of charge that has been levied on you for breaking the law and order. Okay, so fines and penalties is a kind of punishment. Is a kind of punishment that you have to bear for breaking the law and order in the country. Okay, so when you pay the fines and penalties, so it's also the source of revenue for the government. Though it doesn't consist major portion of revenue, still it's one of the source. The next one is grants and gifts. Now there may be different kinds of grants and gifts that the central government can receive from the government of another country, or the central government or the state government can give to each other, or there may be the grants that central government can give to the state government and state government can give to the local government for providing various kinds of benefits to the general public. So when the government receives the grants and gifts from the another government or any other source, so it's also one of the sources of public revenue. So these are the different sources of non-tax revenue for the which contributes to the public revenue. So today we have seen the meaning of public revenue and the sources of public revenue. Here we are done with the chapter of public revenue. In our next lecture we are going to start with the public dates. Till then, keep studying, stay safe. Thank you.